Pinocchio, baby hood, baby cone, Buratino. Hello, today I'm going to show you how to work this baby beanie, this baby hood, Pinocchio. The head volume is 46 centimeters. It stretches this way. For working this beanie, we need baby yarn. I took Elise. I used 3 colors of yarn: white, blue and yellow. We also need circular knitting needles, the diameter 3.5 millimeters, and double point knitting needles. The diameter is also 3.5 millimeters. So let's get started. I have cast on 85 stitches on circular knitting needles. Further, we are going to join in the round this way. So slip the stitch, the last stitch, onto the left hand needle and knit these 2 stitches together. We have just joined in the round. Knit the next stitch also, then purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. Now we are working the ribbon, 2 by 2 ribbon. Knit 2, purl 2, alternating, knit 2, purl 2. And we are going to work all the way around, and the length must be 2 centimeters. Knit 2, purl 2. We have just worked the ribbon, 2 by 2 ribbon, the length 2 centimeters. Further, we are going to work by stockinette stitch all the way around. We just keep knitting, knit all the stitches of all the rows, 6 rows of stockinette stitch. Now we are knitting by stockinette stitch, 6 rows. We knit all the stitches in all the rows, because we use the circular knitting needle and work by stockinette stitch in the round. We only have to knit around and around and around. We do not have to purl. We have just worked 6 rows by stockinette stitch. Further, we are going to add another color, additional color, the yellow one. So take the crochet hook and pick up the thread, the yellow thread, and pull it through the loop this way. Tighten it. And continue working using the yellow thread. Now we are going to knit 2 rows. Knit 2 rows. Just keep knitting, 2 rows. We are working by stockinette stitch. Knitting 2 rows. just keep knitting. We have just knitted 2 rows with yellow thread. Further, I attached additional thread, the white thread, the white color. Now we are going to knit 6 rows by stockinette stitch. 6 rows by stockinette stitch. We knit all the stitches in all the rows. Just keep knitting. Because we use the circular knitting needle and work by stockinette stitch in the round, we only have to knit around and around and around. We do not have to purl. We just keep knitting. 6 rows. We have just knitted 6 rows with white thread. Further, we are going to repeat knitting with yellow thread of yarn. Take the yellow thread. You ought to cross the threads in between of them in order to avoid the holes in the work. You must twist these threads, cross them. Knit 2 rows, knit 2 more rows using the yellow thread of yarn. Just keep knitting around. Knit all the stitches in 2 rows. We have just knitted 2 rows using the yellow thread of yarn. Now we are going to repeat the same. 6 rows of blue yarn, then 2 rows of yellow yarn, and 6 rows of white yarn, and 2 rows of yellow yarn, and repeat the same again and again, alternating the colors. We have just worked the blue, the yellow, the white, and the yellow. Further, we are going to use the blue thread of yarn, and in this row we are going to decrease the number of stitches the following way. We knit 6 stitches, then we knit the 7th and the 8th stitch together, 2 together. So we knit 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th and the 8th stitch we knit them 2 together through the front leg. Knit them 2 together through the front leg. Again, knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the 7th and the 8th stitch we knit them 2 together through the front leg. Knit them 2 together. So we knit 6 stitches, then knit 2 stitches together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have just knitted 6 stitches. Then the 7th and the 8th stitch we knit them 2 together through the front leg, and continue the same till the end of this circular row. Knit 6 and then knit 2 stitches together. Again, knit 6, then knit 2 stitches together. We have just worked till the end of this row and have decreased the number of stitches. Further, we are going to knit 4 rows. Knit 4 rows using the blue thread of yarn. we have just worked 4 rows in the round by stockinette stitch in the round using the blue thread of yarn. Further, we are going to decrease the number of stitches again the following way: knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the 6th and the 7th stitch we knit them 2 together through the front leg. Again, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then knit 2 stitches together. The 6th and the 7th stitch we knit them 2 together through the front leg. Again, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then knit 2 stitches together. The 6th and the 7th stitch we knit them 2 together, and continue the same till the end of this row in the round. We have just decreased the number of stitches in this row in the round. Further, we are going to use the yellow thread, the yellow thread of yarn. Using the yellow thread of yarn, knit 2 rows, knit all the stitches. Just keep knitting 2 rows with yellow thread of yarn. We have just knitted 2 rows with yellow thread of yarn. Further, we are going to work with white thread, 6 rows. 6 rows in the round with white thread, and then 2 rows with yellow thread. We have just worked again the white thread and we have just worked the yellow stripe. Further, we are going to work the blue and the white stripes and the yellow stripe in between of them. We simply work by stockinette stitch in the round. We knit all the stitches in all the rows. We have just worked the blue stripe, the yellow stripe, the white stripe and the yellow stripe. So we have 4 blue stripes, 4 white stripes and the yellow stripes in between of them. Further, we are going to work with the blue thread of yarn, and in this row we are going to decrease the number of stitches again the following way. And this time we are going to knit 4 stitches and then knit 2 stitches together. Knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th and the 6th stitches we knit 2 together. We knit them 2 together through the front leg. Then again knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then knit 2 stitches together through the front leg. Again knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th and the 6th stitches we knit them 2 together. Knit 2 stitches together and continue the same till the end of this row. Knit 4, then knit 2 stitches together. We have just decreased the number of stitches again. Further, we are going to use the double point knitting needles in order to make easier our job, our work, in order to simplify our working process. Let's slip all our stitches onto the double pointed knitting needles, the half of our stitches onto the one knitting needle and the rest onto the second knitting needle. We just slipped our stitches onto these knitting needles, dividing them in half. Now we are going to work 6 rows in round using the blue thread of yarn, then the yellow stripe, and then the 6 rows of white color. Now we are working by stockinette stitch. In the round we knit all the stitches in this row in the round, and we are working 6 rows of blue thread of yarn, 6 rows with blue thread of yarn. Okay, we have just worked with this knitting needle, then we're going to knit from this knitting needle. Further, we are going to continue alternating the stripes. We have just worked additional stripes, blue, yellow, white, and yellow again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blue stripes, 5 white stripes, and yellow stripes in between of them. Now we are going to use blue thread of yarn, 6 rows, 6 rows. In this row we are going to decrease the number of stitches again. Knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th and the 5th stitches we knit them together. Knit 2 stitches together through the front leg. Again knit 3, 1, 2, 3, then knit 2 stitches together. Then again knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and knit 2 stitches together, and continue the same, alternating. Knit 3, knit 2 stitches together, knit 3, knit 2 stitches together.